Pero gusto ko manawagan sa ating Pangulo. Mr. President, gising na. Ginagago ka na ng mga kaalyado mo. Papayag ka ba naman na ginagawa kang tanga sa harapan ng taong bayan?
Yung omnibus motion, and I think she signed that omnibus motion. Omnibus motion is very clear that the technical staff are allowed to make corrections in cases of grammatical, typographical, and printing errors. Yung pag-fill up nung blank item, that is not anymore grammatical or typographical. You are practically putting a substantial amount in what could have been zero or blank. Kung blank yung BICAM report mo, tama yung sabi ni Speaker Bibot na pagdating mo sa enroll bill, blank din yan. Kasi you have to faithfully comply or copy with what is written there sa ratified version ng House. So, maganda ngayon at sinabi nila at sinang-ayunan yung sinabi na may blanco nga sa BICAM. Pero mali yung sinabi na ministerial corrections. That can never be because the technical staff are only authorized to make typographical, grammatical, and printing errors.
Correct. Thank you, Congressman Sid. Congressman Alvarez, your comments on that statement.
Well, may nagsabi kanina na politika lang yan, di ba? Talaga namang part ng political process ito Political exercise ito. Na merong budgeting, merong anomalya sa proseso. Natural, questionin natin yan. Ngayon, sinasabi nila na karapatan natin yan, tama yun. Kahit daw magpunta, kahit anong korte. Wala naman tayo ibang pupuntahan, Supreme Court, di ba? Yun lang ang pupuntahan natin. Hindi naman tayo pwedeng pumunta ng Victoria Court. Supreme Court ang pupuntahan natin, Korte Suprema. Hindi pwedeng kahit anong korte pwedeng puntahan. Hindi pwede. Mali yun.
Congressman Alvarez, as a lawyer, yung sinabi na, pwede ba talaga, klaro naman nasa omnibus guideline, no? Pero yung sinabi niya na the technical staff were authorized naman daw to make the corrections.
Tama naman yan. Tama yung sinasabi ni Congressman Ungab kanina na pwede naman talagang authorize yung technical working group para gumawa ng corrections. Pero hindi yung palitan mo yung amount o dagdagan mo yung amount. Hindi ganon. Grammatical errors, typographical errors, pwede yun. Yung mga minor things na hindi naman apektado yung mismong yung talagang laman ng budget.
Correct. Especially the figures, the amounts. Correct. Thank you, Congressman Sid and Congressman Bebot. Sir Ronald, I'd just like to get your thoughts also after hearing their comments on that matter. As a Filipino and an advocate for transparency, what's your thoughts on that, sir?
Yes, ako po, sinusundan ko lang ang sinasabi ng ating speaker at chairman ng APRO dati. Pero siyempre, tama yung sinasabi nila na how can technical staff edit, di ba? Zero yun blanco How can they put an amount there from millions to billions, di ba? And nakalagay, typographical, grammatical, and printing errors. Very minor yung abilities ng technical staff para mag-edit. Pero pag na-approve nung sa BICAM report, ang napirmahan nila, zero, blanco, dapat yun na nag-reflect doon sa kung saan ipinasa yon. Bakit pagpasa, meron ng amount, di ba? Ang sinasabi ng Malacanang, sinabi ng presidente, doon daw sa pinirmahan niya, walang blanco. Hindi naman yun ang niraise ng dating Pangulong Duterte. Ang niraise niya yung sa BICAM. Diba? Blanco yun, pinirmahan ng mga BICAM members na blanco yun. How come? Nagkaroon ng amount doon. Sinasabi nila, the technical staff can edit. Can the technical staff determine on their own kung ilang bilyon o ilang daang bilyon o ang ilalagay na amount doon? Siyempre, hindi. They are not even signatories doon sa report na yon. So, yung sinasabi dyan, medyo may flaws talaga doon. At very valid yung concern ng ating dating speaker at dating chairman ng APRO.
Thank you, sir. Congressman Alvarez and Congressman Ungab, do you think some people, with these pronouncements and statements na halo-halo na, do you think some people are trying to discredit the importance of the BICAM report? Kasi ang nagiging punto nila ngayon, may blanco nga doon, pero ang importante, kompleto ang enrolled bill eh. So doon sila focus eh. At the end of the day, enrolled bill daw ang mahalaga. Do you think ganun ang nangyayari? To condition us na hindi naman mahalaga yung BICAM? Congressman Bebot.
Well, yung BICAM kasi, kaya mahalaga yan. Dahil siyempre yung version ng House at saka ng Senado, normally magkaiba yan. Ngayon kaya nagkaroon ng BICAM para i-reconcile yung mga differences sa both houses. Ngayon, kung ano yung mapag-agrihan sa BICAM, yun dapat yung mag-reflect sa enrolled bill. Ngayon, kung blanco yung BICAM, blanco din yung inaprubahan ng plenary, zero dapat yan. Kahit nga, lagyan mo ng 1 yan, violation pa rin yan.
And Congressman Sid.
Yung sa mga experiensyado na sa budgeting, merong 2 steps dyan na tinatawag nating faithful copy, parang Xerox copy. Yung from NEP to GAB 1, yung first reading na GAB 1, yung GAB mo. NEP to GAB, that's faithful copy, Xerox copy yan. Parang kung ano yung nasa NEP, kopyahin mo. Yung BICAM report mo, faithful copy din yan, doon sa yung enrolled bill. Hindi ka pwedeng gumawa ng enrolled bill na wala doon sa BICAM report. Malaking kasalanan yan. In the words of former Speaker Alvarez, criminal.
Crime.
Right. You think, Kong, at the end of the day, if truth prevails, may mga makukulong talaga dito, sir?
Kung talagang susundin yung batas, mukhang meron. Kaya nga ako, gusto ko rin manawagan, marami namang magagaling na criminal lawyers dyan. Iba ka naman pwedeng tumulong dito sa atin.
Right. Thank you, Kong. So, yun nga, I think many of our fellow Filipinos are mag-aantay sa talagang ano pa ang magiging development ito, Congressman Sid, Kong Bebot, and Sir Ronald. And for sure, Kong, this will not be the last time, again, as you mentioned, because, right from the start, we have been very consistent. You have been very consistent in pointing out the irregularities or the questionable things in the BICAM. But for the past weeks, we've heard many versions ng statements from the executive department and from the legislative. Deny, inadmit. But I think the point here is from your end, Congressman Sid, you've been very consistent. You found irregularities. That's why we're questioning it. And we've brought it up sa Supreme Court. So, hihintayin natin yan. Congressman Sid, Congressman Bebot, are there any other things that you wish to discuss, particularly on the budget issue?
Itong nangyari ngayon, yung blanco, tapos merong nag-fill up, pinadala sa Malacanang, pinapirmahan sa Pangulo. Malinaw ito na ginago talaga nila yung Pangulo rito. Ginago nila. Kung hindi pagago, ginago nila rito. Ngayon, ikaw ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas, papayag ka ba na ginago ka ng mga taong to? Dapat gumawa ka ng hakbang dahil nakakahiya ito.
Congressman Alvarez, sorry, consider. Congressman Alvarez, speaking up from that point, do you think the President was not aware of all this? You think?
Aywan ko ha. Hindi ko alam. Kasi kung presidente ka, maraming paraan para ma-verify mo kung ginagago ka na ng mga tauhan mo o mayroong taon nang gagago sa'yo. Ngayon, kung hindi mo man inalam yan, abay, malaking problema tayo.
Thank you, Kong. Congressman Sid, anything else that you wish to point out?
Yes, it's good that we went to the Supreme Court, and I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of groups are going also to the Supreme Court. Ang isang maganda lang, napag-usapan ito ng taong bayan. A few days ago, nag-ikot ako sa barangay. sinalubong ako ng aking mga barangay opisyalis, kapitan at kagawad. Alam mo, sabi ng kapitan at kagawad, Sir, grabe pala doon sa inyo. Bilyones na kakaligtaan nagiging plangko. Sabi ko, hindi ako kasama doon Hindi ako member ng BICAM at I never signed that report. I did not vote to ratify it kasi absent ako. Sabi ko, nakita niyo na, Sir, kami nga sa barangay. Barangay budget lang yan. Binabantayan namin. Meron kaming hearings, meron kaming report. Down to the last centavo. Accounted namin yan. So, ngayon, aware yung mga barangay officials. Tinitingnan nila kung ano yung procedure ng pag-process ng budget sa national. Kasi sa barangay nga, nagbabantay na sila. How much more dapat sa bilyones magbabantay sa itaas, lalo na ito sa national.
That's really a very interesting point din also, Kong Sino. And tama ka dyan, Kong. I think one of the best things that has happened here after your revelation is that people are talking about it. More and more Filipinos are actually talking about it. And we hope to continue this discussion until, the truth comes out and may decision ng ating Korte Suprema hinggil dito. And Kong, I think yun na yung the only items na we will cover on this issue sa budget. Before we end, Congressman Sid and Congressman Bebot and Sir Ronald, I think we'll get also your message perhaps to your fellow, kasi Congressman Sid, nagsimula sa'yo to, and then and Congressman Attorney Vic Rodriguez, and then here comes former House Speaker Congressman Bebot Alvarez also speaking up now. Ano po ang mensahe nyo sa mga kapwa nyo legislators, public servants na nakikinig sa atin ngayon? Congressman Sid.
Again, I want to go back to the importance of education. In the words of the former Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, he said that education and good governance are the key to development. Sometime, I think in 1992, I hope my memory is correct. Nasa Bangkok ako noon nagsabi si Lee Kuan Yew, sa ASEAN, 11 ASEAN countries, hinahabol na ang Pilipinas. When once upon a time, you are number 2 next to Japan. Sabi niya noon, 1992, you have to, hindi shape up yung word niya. Parang may na-mention na Filipinos, you have to work hard. Or Vietnam will overtake you. Ngayon, na-overtake na tayo ng Vietnam. So, good governance is the key to development. Sana naman magising na tayong lahat. Huwag na nating hintayin, mahabol pa tayo ng Bangladesh at Cambodia. Because we don't want to wake up one day na tayo ay nasa last na ng ASEAN countries. Magtulungan tayo. Kaya ko nga nilabas ito kasi for the people to start talking about it. Hindi naman pwedeng hindi tayo magsalita. Nakita na natin yan. I was happy that pagdating ko dito, the former president was here, Attorney Vic Rodriguez was here, Attorney Delgra was here. So napag-usapan namin na dapat ilabas talaga yung nakita natin na blank sa BICAM report. Let's go back to education. It's everybody's dream to educate our children. Our children's children. Huwag nyo namang gawin yun na bawas-bawasan nyo pa yung education sector na budget. Na dapat yun ang pinaka-priority natin. Education is an equalizer. It bridges the gap between the rich and the poor. I hope maintindihan natin yon. If you want development, if we want the future generation to succeed, kalimutan nyo muna yung short-term ayuda, short-term na assistance na subikat yung kanya-kanyang pangalan. What we need is a long-term educational program. Banatan, bigyan ng maraming pondo yung education because an increase in the education budget will immediately impact on the output of the children. More graduates, more intelligence, at on the overall performance, we become globally competitive. Yun lang po. At I hope magigising tayong lahat.
Thank you, Congressman Sid. Congressman Alvarez, your message, for sure there are members pa ng Senate and Congress na baka need lang ng konting inspiration, sir, na also willing to speak up.
Ako naman, ayoko nang manawagan doon sa mga kasamahan namin sa Kongreso. Dahil naiintindihan ko yung posisyon nila. Naiintindihan ko yung kalagayan na siyempre mas komportable pag nakaupo ka lang at manahimik ka. Pero gusto ko manawagan sa ating Pangulo. Mr. President, gising na. Ginagago ka na ng mga kaalyado mo. Papayag ka ba naman na ginagawa kang tanga sa harapan ng taong bayan? Yun lang.
Thank you, Congressman Bebot Alvarez. Sir Ronald, your message, especially to the youth sector, please, sir.
Siguro, two last points. Bilang National Youth Commission Chairman ng Duterte Administration, talagang napaka-importante ng budget sa education sector. Dahil napakaraming mahihirap na Pilipino na umaangat lang yung buhay through scholarships and pag-aaral. And dito sa nangyari na yung naipasang budget, nung una, mas pataas yung DPWH budget kaysa doon sa education sector. Tapos sabi ng Malacanang, aayusin nila. Biglang ipinasok na nila yung iba't ibang budget doon sa education sector, pati yung PMA na galing sa DND, nilagay muna doon, pati yung PNPA na galing sa DILG, nilagay muna doon, pati yung National Defense College na sa AFP nilagay muna doon. Halatang binloat lang ng konti yung education sector para lang pumasa ito na masabi nila mas malaki yung education sector budget. So, napapansin natin ito bilang NYC Chairman ni Pangulong Duterte na dapat sana hindi ganito. Dapat sana talagang malaki ang tunay na budget sa education sector, basic and higher education. Yung mga elementary, high school, and college para maging pag-asa sila ng bayan. And last point po, bilang chairman naman ng Duterte Youth Party List, nung una hindi ko alam tong BICAM na tinatawag. Sa tingin ko, maraming Pilipino hindi rin alam yung BICAM. Pero nung nasabihan kami ngayong January na natanggal lang kami ng budget allocation through BICAM amendment, doon ko na-realize, pwede pala mag-focus sa BICAM. Kaya lalo ako nakinig kina Speaker Bebot at kay House Appropriations Chairman natin dati, si Dungab, dahil mas gamay nila ito. At masabi ko sa inyo, dapat lalong makinig at maging mapagmatsyag ang taong bayan. Kasi ito ay budget ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Budget ng 120 million na Filipino. Pag tayo ay nahuhokus-pokus ng malakihan, apektado ang buhay nating lahat at ang kinabukasan ng ating bansa. Yun lamang po.